right? And then what happens is we go on to project management. Now I'm acting as creative director too, and I'm like, oh crap, I just had a meeting with Jonah. She didn't have this messaging. She didn't know this part. So like there's all these kind of combobulated parts. And so I think like after this, I don't know if this needs updating at all.
I think so.
I think it does. I think we need to work more like collaboratively.
Yeah, so like the internal, at the internal review, I kind of wrote down, I think we should, because I know you review it with us, but I realized that once we're done with the review, that's it. Like I have to create it based off a 2-week time frame. I think what we really should do is have a complete brainstorm session on a new project that we're bringing in and just really assess like, okay, do we have to have this content? Are they writing the content? Like get all clarification like that same day.
So hold on, your note is to have a more thorough internal strategy session?
Yeah, so like.
To address those issues we have, like knowing what'll be on each page.
Yeah, because what I'm noticing.
Before the client reveal.
Yeah.
Before the client reveal. So I don't know if that's like initially maybe there's 2 internal reviews where you're like, first we just talk about it, then we do it, and then we adjust it within ourselves before we send to the client.
I think it would be good to do it initially because then that allows you guys to take the time out of your day to actually look at the discovery notes to see like, hey, wait, where's this thing? I need this, to do my job. Because we'll find that out along the way, and it's like already 5 days in, and it's like, it's based off a 2-week time frame, so you're kind of like, it kind of pushes the timeline off a bit. So I think if we get all of our initial, as much as we can, whatever we're working with, initial notes, initial questions that could have been solved, like a few days prior or that day, same day, I think it would help everybody, especially like, same thing with like identifying like what is UI UX and just getting all those clarification points because we'll
I think
have
one of the thing is scheduling of all of our internal sessions on the calendar before we actually start the project. Because one thing is we give our timelines to the client and we say, okay, discovery, 2 weeks, reveal, after that we go, and then in that 2 weeks, like on my calendar, it's booked up usually about a week and a half in advance. And so we actually have to put them on my calendar and the team calendar before we actually start.
Because that's the other hard part too, is like, you're not the only one that's busy with things. Like we also have like 2 weeks worth of work going on, and then it's like we're working this one off a 2-week timeline.
So I think what we should do is definitely identify the client's time frame and then estimate our time frame, and then that will help us determine a more realistic time frame.
Yeah.
Because aside from our retainers, we're adding on new projects, and I think right now we're almost at 5-6 new projects plus our retainers. So
we need 1 to 2 weeks of ramp up before discovery to schedule. Okay, so on the one hand, we need to add another layer of internal review. And on the other hand, we have to schedule those reviews before we even start discovery. Because it seems like we're kind of picking up the pieces as we're going, and we're scheduling as it's going. And it's like, oh, are you available? Oh, shoot, no. Like usually it's just me. And so that's why I'm the only one in that strategy reveal. And I'm like, hey guys, if you can make it, here's the link. And usually it's just me or me and Desiree or something like that. So do you guys care? Like, I don't know if it's, do you guys want, I think it'd be helpful if you guys were in that reveal session.
I like
I think it'd be really
I don't know why
helpful.
that's never been a thing. Maybe it's just because it's based off of my calendar and I just schedule it.
Yeah, it's based off your calendar, and then also like looking back on it within the year, like when I first started, we literally only had 7 retainer clients and maybe 2 or 3 small projects, I think, when I first got on board. Now it's like we have 8 retainer clients and like 5 different projects. So I think we definitely expanded, plus with everybody on board. So I think it's definitely necessary, especially getting all the clarification that we need as far as like what exactly like the course of the project timeline. So nobody's feeling overwhelmed or rushed, because they're like, I noticed that too, is that a lot of the times that we'll have layers of projects on top of each other and they don't know how to like prioritize, like, okay, which one am I doing? Because they're both, having the same time frame. So I'm like, and plus our retainers. So it's like, okay, let's figure this out. Let me see like what I can do. And then of course, with that being said, if everybody has the same like time frame, somebody's going to fill it. There's going to be somebody who has to wait a couple weeks or a week or whatever. So
going back to our pain points, we need to clean up our verbiage of what's included. In fact, Okay, so those are some of our pain points. We've already identified a few things that we could do. We need to have a more thorough internal strategy session before the client reveal, scheduling of internal sessions on the calendar before starting, give us 1 to 2 weeks of ramp up before discovery to schedule our reviews. Team needs to be in that reveal session. So when I schedule discovery, it's literally this email, and I have this signature that says, let's schedule discovery, right? Boom. And it says, I'm excited to be working with you and the team on this project. So this is from the client's perspective. I just sent this out the other day for a project that we're going to be onboarding. The invoice for the deposit has been sent. You can pay by check online, or we can take a card over the phone. The first step would be to schedule discovery. Create a page with a couple short videos explaining everything you need to know, what it is, who should be there, and how to schedule it. The page also has a calendar where you can schedule directly. So they click on here, and they say, what is discovery, and then preparation for discovery. There's this very handsome man right there explaining all that. And then they can, so there's no time this month, and so then they just schedule it whenever they want, right? So that's convenient for the client. Mm-hmm. This does not, so they could go on there and schedule it for next week, for all I know. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so I don't know if we need to remove this process and have them have it more of like a manual process to where Desiree, you call them because you're managing the timeline, you know what I mean? And you need to schedule in our calendars. And so if we need 1 to 2 weeks to prep for discovery, that doesn't work if this is just more automated.
Is there any way you can put like a condition in that particular calendar?
Yeah, like
type,
make it like
have to wait
2
a week
weeks
or
out. Yeah.
Week and
Or
a half.
week out.
Yes, that is possible.
Yeah,
That
would
might be
good.
easier than having to call everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, too, I think we should also take into consideration the duration of these tasks, David. Like, I think you guys should let me know, because I know some tasks, like, they just have to do this on the site, but in reality, it takes like 4 hours for them to do that one thing. And in like a realistic day, like they're working 8 hours, so that's already half of a day taken up.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait, what do you mean? So is this a pain point that we're identifying?
yeah, so like I noticed that like if I'm scheduling stuff, I think if me and David, or you, Sean, David, and me can collaborate on how we can better schedule it out, because I'll like assign something, but like I was saying, like whatever that task is in web designing, it could take almost a whole half day. So I have to, like, if I'm gonna assign that task for him, I need to realize, like, okay, that he's already gone half the day because he's working on that one thing, and he
So
only
more
has...
accurate projection of how long tasks will take.
Yeah.
And what our capacity is, like, as an individual. Like, if
Oh,
we're going
yeah,
through this and we already have
capacity,
like 6 hours worth of work, and we have a 4-hour project that we need to squeeze in that day, it's like.
If I may, I've worked with a company on a book project, and they used a program called Launchpad. It was all web-based. I could clearly see all the tasks that needed to go in. So as a new client for them, I had no idea what the process was. I didn't know anything about it. And so me as the client, I could go in and see where we were. Oh, my cover's being worked on by so-and-so. Oh, they need me to give them my manuscript by this day. Oh, so-and-so's gonna reach out to me for the pictures, and so I don't have to worry, like, I don't have my pictures.
We use Asana, which does that, which allows for clients to see that, which most of our clients don't have access to that. There's a couple that do.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming on the back end,
it's helpful.
they have like 50 authors,
right.
like me,
Yeah.
and so at some way that's organizing the tasks, so it's not overwhelming a bunch of.
I like that.
people
My
having
buddy
It
Aaron.
could be good internally, because
Aaron
I feel like
Pearson.
Then
externally,
you just
like I feel
manage
like
the tasks, and it just put the same template of to-do list for every new client, because the process can be pretty similar.
Yeah. So Aaron, I think he used Trello. And Trello,
It's just like Asana.
Yeah, but their value proposition to the client was like, we are literally an extension of your business. You can see everything. It's all full transparency, and so you can have access to Trello. And so he said most of the clients wouldn't care to even go in there, but they always added them as part of their process. I don't know if that's something that we want to do.
I don't know about that one.
No,
I
Make
feel like
so
if
many
it's
jokes in the
full
comments.
transparency, I don't know. I feel like we'll get that one client that wants to call and like, David wasn't working on one project for 2 days.
I think
Access revoked.
Right.
for me, the bigger thing with like the timeline is like if I need a graphic for a blog post and I look at like Chris or Jonah's task list, I have no idea if the stuff on their list for today is going to take them 6 hours or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's
How do we
really
do that?
rough.
So when we're talking about,
I mean,
That's
I
the
think the
hard
only
part
way
we
is
were
to
looking
ask
into.
them. Like, there's not a magic
Yeah.
but
solution.
then our whole day is like, hey,
Yeah.
what are you working on? How long is that taking?
Yeah,
It's
because
like-
sometimes, they could get delayed, and then it turns out that project that was due like maybe a couple days ago, they're still working on it. And then the only thing I can do is at least make ranges for them, so I kind of can see like, okay,
That's
this
really
little
helpful.
task is gonna take between
Yeah.
Monday and Wednesday of this week or whatever. And that's the only thing that I know that's been kind of helpful for me.
So if I were in that position to where I needed, and this happens a lot because I'm not working in Asana as much as you guys are, right? And so if I need like an image for a blog post that I'm creating and I need it pretty quickly, I just call David. I'm like, hey, David, what's on your plate today? Do you have time to do this? No. Okay, shoot. When can you get this done by? And them tell me, and then I'll create the task, do then. But that's a phone call. It's not like done in Asana.
So what I've done is kind of similarly, like I'll assign it for like when I would ideally like to have it, but then just say in the task like, hey, I need this for this. Let me know if this date isn't good for you, and we can move it out to max this day. But maybe I should do what Desiree does with the ranges.
The ranges are helpful
really
because
helpful.
David brought that up to me, whereas the only thing I can really do is look at like the calendar that's available in Asana, but like it'll show like there's big gaps, but in reality he's still working on that one particular task
For sure.
because it takes
So
him
what
so
would
long.
explain ranges real quick and how do we implement into our process?
So ranges are like you said a due like a start date and an end date. So like he could be from like November 2nd through the 8th and he has all that time to work on that project, and then periodically, I'll go into my task section and ask him like, hey, like how's this project going? Have you started it? And that's why I also try to implement tags in Asana to kind of get like a better idea, like, okay, what is going on? Like we added like waiting on client assets or like waiting on approval, or it's done, but we're still waiting on client feedback. So like I've added those things in Asana.
So there's like conditional, is like conditioned, you can't.
Well, it's not really conditional. It's just kind of like adds a little tag and
Get it
says,
done
like, hey,
within this
is-
period kind of thing,
Yeah.
which is really, really helpful for me as well. That's been nice. The other
I-
thing is having an edit task, an edit subtask for everything is really nice. Because like I look at it and I'm like, oh, this is overdue for this thing, but I wrote that already, but I have it not complete because I'm waiting on edits. So that's kind of helpful, is to have like that step on those
Yeah.
things.
Oh, like, okay, so like I have a piece of content to be written, check, done, and then it's like, oh shoot, we didn't even internally
Yeah.
review that, we
Yeah.
didn't send it to the client, get feedback, and there's some revisions that are needed. So before that's done, there's that subtask
Edit
for
subtask.
edits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that'll show up separately and I'll be like,
And
oh,
that's
what are
pretty
these
much
edits
on
for?
most things. Like they'll need
Yeah.
to be reviewed and edited.
Yeah.